Welcome to the STaR Coach channel. I'm Meg Rentschler. It's great to have you here. In this Gold Nugget clip, Steve Sosland, Vice Chancellor for Leader and Culture Development at Texas Tech University Health Center, who describes himself as a professional disruptor, talks about how to lead innovation.
In the mid-'60s, a guy named Everett Rogers developed something called the diffusion of innovation curve. Now, not everybody's heard of Rogers' work, but they probably know what it is that he did, because what he said is that when we lead major change of any organization, people naturally fall out in these different groups. We have the innovators, about 2.5% of the population. Then we get these early adopters. Some people call them the first followers. And there was a video that went viral a number of years ago called The Shirtless Dancing Guy.
The shirtless dancing guy. It was a TED Talk.
There was a TED Talk around it. And it shows these kids on a hill in San Francisco. You can go to TED, you can go to Google and look up Shirtless Dancing Guy video. And what I'm telling you now, you'll actually see it on this hilltop overlooking San Francisco Bay. So this group of first followers, the early adopters, become really important because they're the ones that can help accelerate the journey, like these coach champions. Mm-hmm. You've got the majority split into two groups, early and late majority, and finally we get the laggards. These are the real cynics, the ones we may never convert to the change. Mm-hmm. So here's the mistake I made. The failure I had was that I failed to distinguish between early majority and laggards, and I learned some of the most valuable lessons. So if I go back to these people trying to get them on board with a new culture, the early adopters come on board emotionally. They're the ones who say, wow, I'm so glad you're here. This is what we've been waiting for. I hated the way we were treating each other. I really want to go to something positive. Okay, great. That's about 13.5% of the population. And we can use them because others will follow the first followers.
Okay.
They become the people we use. Well, then we get the majority. Well, the early majority, about 34% of the population, do you know what motivates them?
What?
They want to know why. They're skeptics, not cynics. They're skeptics. They're asking questions like, well, Meg, yeah, exactly. Meg, why are we doing this? How's this different than what we did last month? Mm-hmm.
Or the two times before that.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And how's this going to impact my team? Okay, the late majority, that other 34% of the majority, you know what motivates them? They never want to be left out of the crowd. We get them for free. If we can get the early majority, we get the second half for free. And what about the laggards? Well, the laggards ask really similar questions to the early majority. They're asking, why are we doing this? How's this different from the last thing we did? Isn't this just another flavor of the month? And what's in it for me? Now, not what's in it for my team, but what's in it for me. The mistake I made was I labeled people. And I spent time labeling the laggards when now, as I would help someone else through this, I would mentor them by saying, don't even worry about the laggards. Keep explaining why. Explain why to everybody. People will fall out into the natural categories. Let them fall out where they will. Some people may need to hear why for 2 years before they come on board. And that's what I've learned.
You are going to want to access my entire interview with Steve Sosland. It is gold at starcoachshow.com/50. starcoachshow.com/50. And be sure to subscribe to our channel so you can stay abreast of all that's happening in the world of coaching. Subscribe now.